All right. I think we are officially live on this. What is it? Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Wednesday, July 28th. And today, well, we're back at it. We're at our normal location in the office. We're going to do our coffee talk today. And today, what I'm going to be sharing with you, it's pretty crazy how things work out, too, by the way. You start talking about something more, and then more things start to happen in that area. Have you ever had that happen where you start looking at a certain vehicle or a car, or you're interested in, I don't know, for us, it was electric bikes, a month ago. And then all of a sudden you start seeing them everywhere. Ever happened to you? It's kind of happening to me right now with this whole niche property thing. I'll share a little bit of that with you here today on this coffee talk. But today, what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be sharing with you, is how one niche property makes $1,796 per month. And actually, it will probably be increasing. And this is something that went from zero to about, if I can remember correctly, probably around $1,400 just from turning on this one thing. So I'm going to break that down as far as how this is possible and what is bringing in the $1,796 per month, and why this is so relevant to what I've been talking about, because it's a niche property. That's kind of what we've been talking about, and we've been really classifying these as like online real estate, like online virtual real estate that you could have as rental properties. You can build it and sell. You can buy one, fix it up, flip it. It's very, very similar to the real estate world, and that's what I love about it so much. I also had a coaching call yesterday with another lady who started this just as a little test validation to see if she could get this thing to work for her. Because a lot of times we're like, can I really do it though? Can I do it? I know someone else did it, but can I do it? And she did. And she was just dabbling in it for like about, I'd say almost 2 years, I think she said, and wasn't 100% focused on it, but just, I'm going to go ahead and just follow the process, and did. And she's getting over 35,000 page views, and that's turning into about $750 per month recurring. And actually, we talked about one thing that she should probably try to do that could increase that by a couple $100, maybe even more, just from a little tweak. So anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about here today. Now that I've stalled a little bit, if you guys have any questions on this, let me know. We are going to kick this thing off. And guys, do me a favor. Those of you that are here live, you guys know what I'm going to ask. Let me know, is my audio coming through okay? My video okay? Give me a thumbs up. I'm going to record this and then put it up on the podcast. So just let me know. And then also, I did add this, or I added a link, and I'm wondering if it's coming up on. Can you guys see in the comments? I dropped I don't think it's there. I dropped a link, and it doesn't look like it went here. Let's see. Is this the one? No. Guys, let me know. Do you guys see in the comments a post where you can add your name to, or for the interest list of the niche properties workshop that we're going to be doing? I did add it in there, but I'm not seeing it right now. Let me see if I refresh my screen real quick and see if that works. No link. Okay. So now I'm on that page. Let me go ahead and copy that again. It's so weird. It must create a brand new. Yeah, there it is. You guys should see it now. You guys should see it. All right, cool. All right, awesome. I'm going to get off of that page so I'm not distracted. All right, cool. Yeah, there it is. All right. Yeah. So if you guys go on that page, you'll go ahead and be able to add your name. If you've already added your name, don't worry about doing it again. You're already on that list. And just for those of you that are following along on this niche properties thing, which kind of came out of nowhere because, I was going back and forth with a buddy of mine, Ryan Lee, and discussing what I was doing. And he's like, you should probably, break that down like you're thinking about it as like a piece of real estate. And that's where we came up with niche properties. And that's why we're talking about it now, because we're going to be doing a workshop. That workshop, the date has not been officially set yet. is going to probably be in the second week in August, and we'll probably start giving people access or allowing them to grab a ticket to the workshop and the course that we're going to add to it as well. Probably going to be the first week in August. So keep an eye out for that. And I will be sending it out to the list of people that are on that list. So with that all being said, I see I've got a yes, video and sound is good. Look good and sound good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great. All right, cool. So let's get rocking. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little pause here, get myself a little bit closer, and we're going to get started here. All right. So let me go ahead. And again, if you guys have any questions on this, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Okay. Here we go. All right. Welcome back. Today, what I'm going to be sharing with you is how one niche property is making $1,796 per month. And that was 1 month and 2 different revenue streams, pretty much passive. And I'm going to share that with you because I've been talking a lot lately about this whole niche properties thing. And it's funny, as I start talking about it, it's like more things start becoming even more obvious. Things start aligning even more. And I like to a lot of times think of this as real estate because I've done real estate. I've got an Airbnb. It's great and everything, but it's very, very similar that you can build these properties. You can do as little with them or as much as you want to with them. I actually just did a coaching call yesterday with one of our BCA members, and she kind of built one out just as a test to see how it was going to do, if she could do the process, if it would work for me. And we were on a coaching call just to kind of go through where she was, where she is now, and maybe, talking about the next move. And she was talking about this one site that she built out just as a validation piece and just to learn the process. And it's been just about 2 years. And she said she hasn't spent a ton of time on it, but she has worked on it. And it's very, very niche, like super, super, super niche. And she's at 35,000 page views right now. She turned on Ezoic ads and she's making just under $1,000 from Ezoic. So she's on her way. All right. But it validated that it works. But the cool thing about it is you can just create that thing and let it kind of do its thing and let it bring in some revenue. And it could be passive, like a piece of rental property, right? You buy a piece of rental property, you get the mortgage, you put some down payment on it, you fix it up a little bit, you put it on the market, you rent it, and hopefully you're going to cover your expenses and you're going to be in a positive cash flow. And you might walk away with $400, $500 net positive cash flow. And yes, you're building equity. Yes, you're going to, over time, maybe 5 years, 10 years, you could sell it and maybe you can make the difference on what the market is now willing to pay for it. And then also, you're paying your mortgage down. So that all makes sense, right? 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 20-year plan. Well, the one of these, we can get there a lot quicker with a lot less headaches and the risk. So that's why I'm so fired up about this. And so I wanted to share with you where this is coming from, what the traffic looks like. So my target has always been, I want to get to 25,000 page views. Okay. And that was because probably about 2 years ago, Mediavine, which is an ad network, was the one that a lot of people wanted to get on because they had better advertisers. Okay, that pay more money. And they call that the RPM, which is basically the per 1,000. So every 1,000 visitors, you're going to get paid X amount. It could be $5, $10, $30, depending on the ads that are being displayed and who's willing to pay for them. But who cares about that right now? What we care about is, what's it look like if I get 25,000 page views a month? Now, that might sound like a stretch for some of you, and some of you might sound like, oh, that's easy. I want to get to 50. Yeah, we all do, right? 50, then 75, then 100. And the cool thing is now Ezoic has announced that they're allowing you to put ads on your site with no minimums. So it used to be 10,000 for Ezoic. Now it's 0. The problem with that is 2 problems. One is if we do that, we may slow our site down, which then could hurt our rankings. The other thing is they're probably not going to put on that great of advertisers, so you're not going to make as much. So my threshold is still 10,000 page views for an ad network to be applied. Okay. The reason why I'm sharing that with you is because as we're building these things out, we have these milestones to hit. Okay. And if we do the research correctly, if we do the build correctly, we can get these properties there. Within 6 months, we can probably get to 10,000 page views. Okay. Maybe faster, maybe slower, depends. But we've been seeing about the 6 to 8 month mark is when you start to see that hockey stick. Okay. Where it really starts to build momentum. Okay. So here's what this site is doing. And I'm not going to reveal the site because it's inside of Brand Creators Academy, our private community. And her name is Jane, and she's been in the academy now for just, I think, over a year, maybe a little bit longer. I forget if she was one of the originals or not. I probably should know that, but she's been slowly building, okay, adding content. And now she was waiting to get to 50,000 because that's Mediavine's threshold. So she was at 25,000, 30,000 with no advertisers. Now, looking back, Jane probably should have added a network on there at the 25,000 mark, even Ezoic, because then we could have started to generate some of that income. It's like having a rental property and not having any tenants until you get the thing fully done, right? What if we could get the thing almost done, livable and passable, where we can start generating some cash? Or maybe we're going to rent out half the building and the other half we're going to keep working on. It's very similar to that. So, but that's not the case here, right? So she's been building this thing, and then she got to the level of 50,000 page views or sessions. Okay. She turned on Mediavine. Okay. Mediavine, again, is a network that will allow you to put display ads on your website, and you get paid for the impression. Now, this is really important. Okay. Years ago, okay, you would want Google AdSense. You'd put it on your site and you'd get paid per click. Clicks could be a penny, they could be 10 cents, they could be $1, they could be $5. But people had to click on the ads. Okay. With this, it's on impression. So every impression counts towards your 1,000. You get 1,000, that could be, they'll pay you $15. They'll pay you $20. They'll pay you $30. We've had as high as $38 for 1,000 page views. Okay. Which is great. Okay. So your numbers can go from like you're making, $1,000 to the RPMs go way up. You can make $2,000 just with it being a different time of the year. And it also could go the other way. You could lose a little bit of that. So what she did was she got approved from Mediavine. She turned on her ads, and immediately first month did over, I believe it was over $1,200. So imagine that, right? You have nothing, right? You just have traffic. You turn on an ad network, and a month later, you're at $1,200. That's like, my rental property's ready. I can start renting it. Okay. Now, I do think that we could have sped that up because we could have turned on an ad network sooner. But who cares about that right now? We're going to learn from this, right? But that's the one avenue right now. So last month, she reported this back to me inside of our academy, $1,446 in Mediavine. She also generated $350 in Amazon affiliate commissions. So just two sources of revenue right there, $1,796 just from that. So if all you wanted to do was build one of these niche properties and just have ad networks and Amazon affiliate links, you could be at $1,000, $2,000. Heck, you could probably even get it up, depending on your traffic, to $5,000 or more. Who knows? But the cool thing is now you get to decide, right? I had a coaching call yesterday, like I said, with one of my BCA members, and we were discussing her next move. So she's got 2 sites, soon to be a 3rd site that she's building, and she's getting good at it, right? And she enjoys it. She's like, Scott, I love doing the research. I love doing the keyword research. I don't like doing the writing so much, so she's going to outsource that. But the first site she built now is kind of it's taking care of itself. She just has to keep feeding it with a little bit of content, keep it going, and it's constantly building. 35,000 page views a month right now. And she's on Ezoic, and that's doing over $750 right now, okay, per month with 35,000 page views. She's probably just going to maintain that right now. She's like, I want to get that to about $1,000. I'm good. You know, if it grows a little, if it doesn't grow, I'm fine with that. It's a nice piece of rental property, right? In a sense. But she has another one that she started 7 months ago. It's starting to get traction now. And I think she's upwards of around 4,500 to 5,000 page views a month on that one now. And it's in a very competitive niche. This one is. And she's at the 7-month mark, but she's starting to see the growth. Now, the third one, she's going to start from scratch again, following the same process. And you might want to know, what is that process? It's a pretty simple process. Number one, validate that the niche actually has potential for traffic. Make sure that there's ad networks advertising, on that or in that niche, right? Make sure that there's affiliate products being sold in that niche, because if you get all the traffic and you don't have any way to monetize, well, good is it, right? And then start creating content. And it was great because when I was talking to her, I said, what did you do for your content? Did you follow our plan? And she says, yes. I went after the question posts first. And those are the ones I was able to rank for very, very quickly. And that's how she's still doing it. So I always tell people, go after the questions, right? Can you catch bass in a pond, right? That's a great question. Answer that question, right? Can you grow palm trees in North Carolina? Question, right? We want to answer those questions. And that is where you lay the foundation and the groundwork, and that starts bringing in that traffic. Then you can start to say, okay, now I'm going to do how-to posts. I'm going to do more product-based posts, right? But the cool thing is as you learn this, you can start to build more, or you can start to build out certain ones that you want to grow or scale. Now, she has this one that she's just going to let kind of do its thing. She's going to keep adding content to it, but she's not going to build an email list in it because she just doesn't want to. That's fine. She's just going to capitalize on the traffic and keep bringing in, $750 to, $1,500 a month, depending, maybe more. Okay. And she's going to let that one run. Now she's going to start another one that she thinks could be bigger and she has more of a passion for. So she's going to build that one out. And she has a third one that's going to kind of go along with the second one, but that's another thing that she's somewhat passionate about. Now, again, the first one, it's not that she's not passionate about it. She just doesn't want to spend her time there, and that's fine. So we have the opportunity here to do whatever we want. We can do as little or as much as we want. If you want to build one of these things out just as a piece of rental property and all you want to do is hands off and you just want to have it outsourced, totally can do it. Okay. And that's what we're currently doing right now. And I say we, myself, Chris Schaefer, we're building out our own niche properties. We have 2 of them that are that have been active now for about just under 2 years. And then the third one, we just started adding new content to. And then we had a fourth that we started as really a demo site for our academy. And we posted 13 articles on that. We haven't even done anything to it. I just looked this morning because I was curious, because I'm like, we probably should start building that one out again. So it's kind of like we built the foundation and we kind of left it and we said, we'll come back to it later. And that one there has gotten just under 1,500 page views in a month. And it's only got 13 articles on it. So I'm like, maybe we should start building that one out again, right? So my point is this: you can do as little or as much as you want. As you start these, you might see more potential in one than the other as far as creating digital products, creating an email list. There's one site that this lady that I was talking to, Dina, that I was talking to about her in another niche that she might want to develop a course or a digital product. And I kind of walked it through with her. And I'm like, yes, this one here you could, and it would require work on your end to do this, that, and the other thing. And it made a lot of sense, right? So she may go down that road, but you don't have to have a passion for this. You don't have to be an expert. I had that question come up the other day too. Like, Scott, do I need to be an expert in order to start developing content in this niche? The answer is no. You can be the reporter, right? Now, I did talk about this in the past where there's some niches that I would avoid: medical, health type related ones, anything with a legal matter, like, gambling, because gambling is illegal in some areas, any of that stuff. Like, I would stay away from that stuff. Doesn't mean you can't, or doesn't mean you can't do it. You can, but I would stay away from it. So that's what I wanted to share with you here today, really to give you another glimpse at what one of these niche properties can do for you. And again, it could be as little or as big as you want. Okay. And the two ways that I usually look at a niche property is like, okay, how is this site going to generate revenue passively? And the two ways that are the easiest ways are having an ad network like Ezoic, Mediavine, AdThrive, or I should say, and Amazon affiliate products. Okay. Those are the two. Okay. And and in the very beginning, you're building. So the first 3 to 4 months, I would just develop content, publish, develop content, publish. And the cool thing is when you have a couple already started, or maybe one already started, and you started it 8 months ago, you start another one. Now you got another one that's 8 months in development. You got another one that's 8 months mature, and you're always going to have one that's kind of being built, one that's kind of maturing, another one that might be a little bit more mature, and they're going to start to show growth. And here's the other cool thing. Let's say you get one that's making $1,000 per month, and you're like, you know what? That was fun. I learned a lot, but I want to go and cash that thing out. I want to go sell that property. If that thing's making $1,000 net per month, okay, probably could get about $40,000 for that. Okay, depending on the growth potential, the market. But I would say anywhere from $38,000 to $45,000. So you could build that thing, and then depending on when you get it to that level of $1,000, if it's a year, if it's 2, you can say, you know what, I'm going to go cash that thing in. 45 grand, $40,000. Not too bad, right? So you also have that potential with these niche properties. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you. The process is pretty simple though. Okay. And yes, it's not easy, right? It does take work. I'm not saying that, but you do have to go through the simple process, which is niche validation. Like, spend some time in some niche validation. Okay. Also, just always be on the lookout, right? There's family and friends that are talking about stuff that they're into, and you're like, I'm going to go look into that niche. Could that be developed into a niche property? Right? So always keep your eyes and ears open, but then you need to validate it. And the validation comes from traffic potential. And then it also comes down to monetization potential. And then from there, you start developing the content plan and start creating content, starting with questions, then how to, product-based posts. And then from there, it's just a matter of continuing to publish, right? Then if you want to amplify your content, I'd go Pinterest, I'd do email list. Okay. You can do both or just do one. And then obviously monetization. We're going to turn that on when we get to a certain level. I would shoot for 10,000 page views, go with Ezoic to start. Then I would work towards Mediavine. And that's it. Rinse and repeat. That is it. All right. So if you want to learn more about this, right now I'm doing this on a live, but if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm going to go ahead and create a link here for you. You can go to brandcreators.com/niche. All right. So brandcreators.com/niche. If you're listening to this, you can go there. If you're watching this and you're here live, or you're watching this on Facebook, that link might not go anywhere yet. So be patient. But if you are listening to this on the podcast, by the time this thing airs, it will be, and you can learn more about our niche properties workshop that we're going to be doing. All right. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you on the next episode. Cut. You guys got any questions for me before we rock on out of here? Oh, let's see. We do. Here we are. Okay, cool. Let's see. Will you be showing how to set up a minimal website on WordPress in this niche properties workshop? The answer is yes. And Salma, the cool thing about this workshop, it's going to be different than workshops that we've done in the past. Here's why. My idea here and what I want to happen is I want the workshop to be about, 2 hours of really showing the exact process. Okay. We'll go through those four spots, right? We're going to go through, niche validation, niche discovery, niche validation, then content creation. Then we'll get into the amplification, and then we'll get into monetization, right? So all of those points are going to be covered. But the cool thing is then we're going to also take some of our other material that we've already, whether it's in BCA, whether it's in our workshops, and we're going to create a roadmap from those additional trainings. So some of you, and Salma, I'm not sure if you have been through any of our other workshops. I think you've been through email list building and digital product, probably. But we're going to give access to some of our other trainings, but we're going to create the roadmap to follow. So it'll be a new roadmap to follow, and then we will plug in the training necessary to complete those stages. One of those will be how to set up the website, how to turn on your plugins, the ones that you'll need, the ones that we're using, and kind of like the back end stuff. And then we'll get into content creation, and then we'll get into optimization, and then we'll get into systematizing. And then we'll also get into hiring like writers or people to help with the process. So hopefully that helped. Alpondro, excited about this possible new workshop. Yeah, it's going to be fun, and I am excited about it. And yeah, I can't wait. And I'll be having more details soon. Would you always wait 10,000 page views to monetize? Not always. I mean, you can, if you want to make it to where you get to 5,000 and turn it on, you can. Now that Ezoic has kind of opened it up, but you might want to turn it on and see how the pay or the website reacts. If it slows down the website, then you got to kind of work with that. But I also don't want to hinder the growth potential, because Google will penalize you if your site is slow. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. Would you always have an ad revenue as the very first way to monetize, or can you? Don't know where okay. So I don't know. So would I always have ad revenue as the very first way for these particular sites? Amazon affiliate stuff will probably be right out of the gate. The problem with that is if you don't have a lot of traffic, and if you don't get, I forget what it is, there's a certain number of sales that you need to have with Amazon. Then what you'll need to do is you need to make sure that you stay within that threshold, or else they'll make it where they suspend your Amazon affiliate opportunity, right? They'll suspend that until you get enough traffic and enough sales. So a lot of people, they'll turn on Amazon affiliate stuff. They won't get any sales in, I think it's 90 days. I think it is. It might be 30. And if you don't, then they'll disable your account and you won't be able to use their platform. So that's why I wouldn't get in a hurry. I'd focus on traffic. The first 6 months is traffic. Get traffic. If I notice I'm getting, 5,000 page views a month, then I might turn on the Amazon stuff. And then, but I'm always going, any product type based stuff that we're going to do, we're always going to want to link over to the product, but you might want to put that in a pretty link. Again, a little bit advanced here for this conversation, but I would, yes, ad revenue is going to be the thing that we're shooting for, because I want this to be a revenue stream that I don't have to do anything with. I just have to turn it on. Let's see here. Oh, Helene. What's up, Helene? How many posts is she posting per week? With me doing a post a week for a year, I can't even get 1,000 views per month while using keywords and getting articles ranking, wondering what the volume of posts needs to be in order to start getting any kind of traction. So basically 1 post a week, 52 posts. Again, Helene, it does come down to the content that's being written. I know you and I did a coaching call a while back, and some of your earlier posts weren't search friendly. And so it might be more of that question-based post. I do know your market. It's competitive, but I do think if you produce more content of the simple questions, that will start to help you get more traffic. And Helene, I know that inside BCA, it was a test site. Wasn't one of our 2 test sites or our case studies. It was another one that we just set up as a way to show how to set up like WordPress and how to post some articles. And we thought maybe we might turn this into something. We just looked this morning out of curiosity. I have not touched the site in over a year, 13 articles, and we're getting, I think it was like 1,396 page views just last month, and it's growing from 13 articles that we haven't posted on that thing. So it comes down to looking at the low-hanging fruit and going after that first, even though the search volume might not be as high as you think. So hopefully that helped. But how many posts is she doing? I think she's doing 1 or 2 per week, but I'd have to ask her inside. Thoughts on mental health niche? I'd be careful. I would be very, very careful because again, it's health, right? If you outsource everything, how much would you need to invest monthly? Well, if you are going to outsource everything, again, I look at this as like a piece of rental property. If I buy a piece of rental property, I'm going to probably put a down payment on a piece of property, depending on how much you're spending, but let's call it like 20 grand. So I wouldn't say that you have to spend 20 grand on this, but you do want to look at it as you are investing in a piece of real estate. So for me personally, I'm spending $35 to $50 per article. And if I'm going to blitz the market, which we're about to do here in one of the other niches that we're going to be building out, we're going to blitz it with like 20 to 30 articles, probably going to spend, I don't know, let's see here. I don't know, $1,000 probably to get that content written and published. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, typically we're going to do a minimum of like 2 articles per week. So what would that be? $70 for 280, something like that. So that's kind of what I would start with myself, but it's to each its own. You could do it yourself too, if you want to, right? Oh, Elizabeth, I would like to do a niche validation. Is the process in Brand Academy? Yes, it is. And if you go inside of the portal, you'll see there's a tab there that says validation. All the validation lessons are there, examples, even ones that we've validated, and it's inside there. And if you are in the academy, if you wanted us to do a drill down into a niche for you, and to help you, just let us know, and we'd be more than happy to jump in there and do one when we do a niche validation session, which I have another one we're going to be doing. I think Troy, if he's on here, Troy has a couple that he's thinking about doing. We might go ahead and jump in there and even look at one that he's been building out. So that's inside there as well. Will there be a checklist to give to our VA that is posting the content, include internal links, affiliate links? Yes. And actually, Alejandro, I'm glad that you brought that up because inside of our content creation workshop, we did share like how to send an outline or get an outline created from your VA or your writer. But we didn't really give a checklist on we showed how to do the optimization, but we didn't do the checklist, which is probably something we're going to include. So thanks for bringing that up. Good tech is an area I need help with. Yeah. And I'm definitely going to make sure that that's super simple, because the hardest part really is just getting past the tech fear. Once you do that and you've done it, it's pretty seamless. And then once you have the property created, adding the content is easy. That's the easy part. It's getting everything constructed, and it's not hard either. It's just people get a little bit, nervous about, clicking buttons and stuff. What other affiliate links do you suggest other than Amazon? Etsy, eBay, to name a couple. So those both have affiliate programs. Why not use those? And then the other one, if you have any digital product type stuff, it'd be ClickBank would be another one. But there's other ones out there, or there's private ones. If you have a some type of company that offers an affiliate program, just ask them, or go to the footer of their website and it'll say partners or affiliates, and you click on that and it'll give you information about it. Let's see. If you had the ability to choose between Mediavine and Ezoic, which would you choose? As of right now, this second, I would say Mediavine. But with that being said, we had a member recently inside the academy. They're getting like 100,000 page views right now, and they're on Ezoic, and they were getting like upwards of like $25 to $30 RPM. Crazy. Great. I wouldn't change it right now. But right now, from my experience and the two sites that we have them on, Mediavine, it's a cleaner dashboard. I like the dashboard better, but they also have been known to have better quality advertisers. Although Ezoic does have they have like a membership now that you can join. It's like, I don't know, so much a month. It's not much, probably like 20, $30, but then that opens up a whole nother suite of advertisers that are willing to pay more. So it's their way of kind of allowing more people on the platform to use it, but only allowing people that are willing to get skin in the game or that have enough traffic that they'll open up their premium ad network. So we're thinking about testing that with one of our sites. Have you ever started seasonal niche or only evergreen? I think every niche has a season to it, or even multiple seasons. But with that being said, if you're talking like, would I do something in the Christmas niche? No, I wouldn't, because then I only have like that little bit of a window. So I don't want that. It can be seasonal. It just can't be that seasonal, ice fishing site, right? There's no ice for like, 8 months out of the year. I'm not going to create an ice fishing site. So yeah, I would stay away from that myself. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, here's one. What do you look for a publisher in terms of qualifications? You mean a publisher as far as a writer, I think is what you're asking. I would just see if they will, or if they have any qualifications, or they don't even need qualifications. What they need is good research skills. And then they have to reference who they are pulling their research from, kind of like you were doing a term paper. Same idea. Salma, will the workshop cover Facebook ads or organic traffic only? Yeah, this is just organic. There's not going to be any Facebook ad stuff, because I don't believe in driving traffic with paid ads to a niche property that we're trying to leverage through an ad network, right? What I would do is, and this is something we will be sharing, is taking Pinterest and turning on some ads there, very, very low budget. But the reason why we do that isn't necessarily to drive the paid traffic there. What it does is it helps us within Pinterest open up the organic reach inside of that platform. So that's the only reason why we would do it. So an example is, if I'm willing to spend $5 a day to get 50 visitors over to my website from Pinterest, that's fine. I wouldn't do it for just that reason. But because I did that, they give me a bigger push in organic. So that 50 turns into 250. I'll take that, because then it's pennies for the visitors to come over. And then I might get some more of my content in front of the organic audience. So hopefully that helped. And I think that is it. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you guys are interested and you have not added your name to the list, this is going to be, like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a different type of workshop, because we're going to teach the process. We're going to show examples we haven't shared before. We're going to show you exactly what we are doing, what we're doing moving forward, how we're putting systems and processes in place. So this way here, we can more or less just be a general contractor to where we can manage things, but we can also show you how you would do it from scratch without hiring anybody, and you can do it all yourself. So that's all going to be in the workshop. And then we're going to have additional training that we are going to be pulling from some of our other trainings that we've already done. And we're going to create a roadmap for you to follow. Systems, processes. We'll probably have some new checklists and resources as well. But this is brand new and something that we're going to be calling Niche Properties. It's something that I'm excited about, because it's something that we're doing internally, and something now that we're going to be sharing, and really more about building out a piece of real estate online that you can generate some passive income, truly passive income, income that you don't have to, ship out items. You don't have to do Etsy if you don't want to. Now we can always add that stuff, but it's not necessary. We're going after the quick two, which is ad networks and affiliates. That's it. That's the two we're going after at first, keeping it really simple, very lean. And then from there, we can decide if we want to add and bolt on any of those other monetization strategies. All right. So I think that's it. Oh, Muhammad, I'm sorry. I didn't see your thing there. He says, why'd you skip my question? I didn't do it intentionally. Can a small company was founded before 20 years, create product machines of agriculture, have no idea in marketing and have not a brand? So can marketing create a powerful change to grow up this situation? Yes. Content would be a great solution to this, Muhammad. And that is because you're going to educate the market. So if you have something that people need to understand before they can buy it, right? Don't necessarily sell the machine. You're selling the solution that the machine provides, right? So a lot of people want to just go after like you should buy my bass fishing reel because it's the best. It's made of the best material. People don't care about that for the most part. What they care about is catching a bass and having it be a smooth reel. So when they pull it in, it's going to deliver that fish without it getting away, right? That's what they're after. So my recommendation for anyone that has products or even a company of that, of that age is content is a great place where you can draw in potential buyers and then also pick up some of that organic search, right? For people that are searching or, questions around the product, but in a way that is more useful for them to educate themselves. So yes, I would say you could definitely use marketing and organic search to help with that. So hopefully that answered your question. And sorry, I skipped your question. I didn't do it intentionally. So that's it, guys. That is going to wrap up this little coffee talk. We will be back here Friday. And Friday, we are going to talk a little bit more on this topic because I think it's important. Do you need to be an expert to create content? And we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper. We're going to talk a little bit more about how you can become the reporter and not the expert, which I think is a brilliant way. And I'll go through a few different situations and things that you could do literally probably within a day or two. And it might be sitting right under your nose that you have this opportunity for getting content created. All right. So I'll be sharing that on Friday. That'll be our jam session. So if you have any questions on the content side of things and about becoming an expert, we can discuss that on Friday during our jam session. All right. So that will be that. All right. So guys, if you have not registered yet, or you can't register yet, if you didn't put your name on the list yet to be notified of when we end up doing this new workshop, make sure that you go in the comments. There's a link there. At least there should be. I posted it there a little bit earlier. Hopefully it's there. For some reason, I'm not seeing it now, but hopefully it's there. I'll go back and make sure that it's there. And then, oh, there it is. Yes, it is there. Click on that, add your name. You only have to do it once. You don't have to do it multiple times. And then we will notify you when we open up registration for that. And it will be live. So there will be a deadline to when you can, join us. And then once we start that live, we'll be closing that down. And then potentially we'll be opening it up again in the future. All right. So guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Have an awesome, amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you on Friday. Take care, guys.